Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected organizers, guest speakers, and participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm grateful to the organizers of the conference to have invited me to share my views with the participants. I'm very pleased to join you today, and I'm delighted to learn that it is the 7th edition of the conference, which is a testimony to the fact that this conference has established itself as a prominent and constructive forum for business leaders to deliberate on key issues facing them. Holding debates and dialogue on economic issues affecting business sector is a healthy and useful tool to broaden knowledge and contribute efforts to finding solutions and formulating strategies to meeting the challenges facing the economy and the business. I'm confident that the deliberations of the conference and its recommendations would be considered by the policymakers to make the right choices and decisions. Let me be candid. This is the conference is being held at a critical juncture in country's political economic history. The choices and decisions made today and would have lasting implications for the country's security, politics, governance, economy, environment, people's welfare, and population in general. Therefore, we should realize that our actions today would have far-reaching implications to Pakistan. In my view, the key challenges confronting Pakistan are the following, and which should engage our attention during the deliberations of the conference. Number one, security. First, we are facing security challenges both internally and regionally. After nearly a decade-long peace in the country, we see the specter of the terrorism rearing its head again. There is a perceptible spike in terror-related incidents, including suicide bombings. Also, the incidents of law and order related crimes such as dacoities, murders, kidnappings, and land grabbing, car lifting, and phone snatching is also on the rise. Such incidents undermine business confidence and damage the investment climate. Furthermore, our region is surrounded by numerous conflicts having implications on our national security. Let it be well understood that our region has been facing instability for many decades, but the amplification of this instability at present is unprecedented and owes to the unjust and brutal war of Israel is carrying out in Gaza more than 6 months, and which has the potential to turn into a regional war. Ending this war has to be on the top priority of the world's leading powers. Decisive polity. While it is heartening to note that the democratic transition witnessed 2008 has survived to this day, despite many challenges, the fourth parliament since then has started in terms after the February elections. However, we see that there are serious divisions amongst the political forces which don't augur well for the much needed political stability that was hoped after the elections. There has to be dialogue among the political forces, and they should have the ability to iron out the differences in the spirit of understanding, amity, and give and take, the very essence of democratic polity. Economy. Third, and perhaps the greatest concern to the conference, is the challenge of economy. We are afflicted by a set of multiple challenges on the economic front. Inflation is not high, but the highest and the longest running in country's history. This is happening when nearly the decade economic growth has either been anemic or stagnant. Taken together, these two features pose actual threats to our economy. In its wake, there are limited investments, falling per capita income, rising unemployment, and worsening poverty, while a host of adverse external factors have contributed significantly to such outcomes. We have to make a radical break from the policies of the recent past so that we provide a solid and sustainable foundation to economic revival and resumption of stalled growth. Here, the main theme of the conference, collaborating for growth, is very apt. I would encourage the participants to make an effective use of this opportunity. Which senior government officials would be participating to give your concrete recommendations for the benefit of policymakers. Environment. Fourth, Pakistan is facing unprecedented challenges on the environmental front. This last decade had witnessed numerous disasters brought about by non-seasonal heavy rains, rising temperatures, changing seasonal patterns, frequent occurrence, natural disasters, and consequent and accelerated economic losses. Despite universal recognition that Pakistan is among the leading victims of climate change globally, without making any significant contribution to environmental degradation or emission of greenhouse gases. Yet, in more recent episodes of such disasters, Pakistan has not received the kind of support it deserved or promised on the occasion. While we would continue to press our narrative on world forums, a more desirable course would be to create mass awareness about the environmental challenges and encouraging people to adopt environmental friendly habits and consciously adopt practices such as tree plantation and protecting trees from tree cutting, and also move towards green energy. Social welfare. Fifth is the natural to be concerned about social welfare of weak and deprived segments of population, as rising unemployment and declining per capita income would be swelling their ranks. I feel proud that it was my government back in 2008 which had formulated and launched the Benazir Income Support Program, BISP, which has survived many administrations but remains the flagship program of social safety net in Pakistan. There is evidence that there is a considerable duplication between federal and the provincial governments in implementing various programs of social safety net. It is imperative that limited resources devoted for such purpose are effectively utilized to ensure the access to the deserving recipients. BISP should be the superhighway over which every single social safety net program should be run, and only people should be eligible for public support for who are found in the BISP data. Based on it is on the census of economic and social status of the population. Finally, the most daunting task the country is facing is population growth. The population growth rate during the period 1998 to 2017 was 2.4%, among the highest in the world. In the follow-up, census announced in January 2024, the population growth was registered at 2.55, which is even more worrying. With such unbridled growth in population, the per capita availability of water and food is declining, which could lead to social unrest and other societal ills. Population welfare has receded in importance on the agenda of successive governments, and at least since the turn of the century, it is imperative that we give top priority to the subject and raise the awareness of people to engage family planning from point of view mother, child, and family's welfare. Before I close, I want to comment on Dr. Ishrat's remarks कि यहाँ पहले कभी से पूछा जाए तो वो कहते ये नहीं हो सकता. As a student, at a very young age, I became a railway minister. और उस टाइम पे जो रियल ब्यूरोक्रेसी थी, जो ब्यूरोक्रेट जो थे, वो अंग्रेजी के अलावा बोल भी नहीं सकते थे. There was a secretary. His name was J.J. DeMello. He thought कि मैं बच्चा हूँ, मेरे पास आए तो मैंने कहा सेक्रेटरी साहब, एक बहुत अच्छी ट्रेन है शालेमार, वो लाहौर से कराची तक जाती है, और वो जो ट्रेन है वो मुल्तान से नहीं गुजरती, और मुल्तान इज़ अ बिग सिटी. तो उसने कहा सर ये नहीं हो सकता. मैंने कहा ठीक है, आप ऑफिस जाएं. वो चले गए. मैंने एक नोट बनाया कि जो ट्रेन मुल्तान से नहीं गुजर सकती बंद कर दें. वो मेरे पास आया, उसने बहुत भारी भरकम थे और उन्होंने वो एक सिगार भी लगाया हुआ तो भागते हुए आए कि सर हो सकता है. तो मैंने कहा आज ही होगा. कहते हो जाएगा. तो मैंने कहा पहले आपने क्यों रोका? कहते सर वी शुड हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग. दिस इज़ फॉर ऑल द ब्यूरोक्रेसी. वी शुड हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि अगर आपको बहुत ज़रूरत हो किसी चीज़ की तो लेट्स हैव अ कोड वर्ड, एंड द कोड वर्ड शुड बी कि कोई रास्ता निकाले. मैं समझ जाऊँगा मिनिस्टर साहब को बहुत मजबूरी है, तो यहाँ मैं कहूँगा तमाम ब्यूरोक्रेसी को और एडवाइज़र्स को, मिनिस्टर्स को कोई रास्ता निकालें, ताकि कोई रास्ता निकालें. Before I close, let me again laud the commendable efforts of the organizer in launching a pioneer effort in organizing such conference of business leaders, bringing them together both under one roof as well as virtually on the subjects of common interest. Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad.